Hi there, it's Mrs. Neiman here for another story time from Carlsbad Public Library. I'm glad to be with you this morning. I can hear my voice is a little scratchy. Let me take a drink of water. Hopefully that'll take care of it. Today we are going to be talking about our topic of otters, and we're going to review the letter O. And a little bit later, we're going to do some stories and a really cute little otter craft. Um, you should have all the supplies you need if you got a craft bag. If you didn't get a craft bag, you might be able to just, kind of do one at home even without. We'll go through the supplies here in a few minutes and maybe you have some of these things on hand. Speaking of craft bags, we've had some calls about when our March craft bags will be ready because I can't believe it's almost the end of February already. I'll try to get those put out later today. So if you want to stop by and pick them up, you can pick up a craft bag for each child in your family that's participating. And of course, supplies are limited, so we usually give away every single bag. But go ahead and pick them up, and then you'll be ready for next Tuesday because we'll be starting our March crafts. And we have 5 story times in March, so that's going to be a lot. But we've got some fun things planned. Well, let's move forward with today's. We are going to do our alphabet letter first. Now, this is letter O, and it's a pretty easy one to do, and it's a fun one to do. If you make a circle, you've made a letter O, and that is the easiest thing to do. We have capital letter O and a small letter O. And on the back, I have something tasty that starts with letter O. Do you know what that is? It's an orange, right? Do you like oranges? I sure do. I had one yesterday. It was really good, and it's so good for you too. Now, O is a tricky letter because it has lots of different sounds. So I brought some other cards out today so we can listen to some of the different sounds. So first up, we're going to do O for owl. Let's say the word owl together, owl. So in that case, the O has kind of an ah sound, ah, okay? And then, of course, for orange, it has kind of a long O sound, orange. Now, this letter O is in the middle of the word, and it says mouse, ow, ow, mouse. So it kind of depends on what other letter it's with, but you can hear the O in the middle of that word. Finally, we have letter O. If we have 2 letter O's together, they sound like ooh. So this animal here is a raccoon. And the ooh sound is right in the middle of the word, raccoon. So why does letter O make all of these different sounds? Well, in our alphabet, we have consonants and vowels. So consonants are the letters like B, C, D, M, N, P, Q, R. And the vowels are A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes letter Y acts like a vowel too. So let's say that together. A, E, I, O. Starts with the letter O. Let's see, what kind of, that's another good letter O word. Can you think of what that might be? Did you think of an octopus? Because that's what I was thinking of, a little octopus. I have a little orange octopus today for letter O. Okay, well, good enough. Now let's talk about otters. So otter, that has the ah sound. Otter, the ah sound of letter O. Today, when we're doing our craft time, we're going to be making a cute little otter like this. And he has some, this is a mommy otter and her baby. So they have some sea kelp that they're going to be floating on like this. So I have a really good picture of what that looks like. I think it's in this book here. Yes, right here. So here is an otter resting on some sea kelp. And you see the kelp is a plant that lives in the ocean. And right down here, you can see there's some little air-filled sacs, and they help the kelp to float. There's so much kelp, they call them kelp forests. So they grow up from the bottom of the ocean bed, so they're kind of close into shore. They're not way out in the deep water. And that is one thing that the otters like to keep comfortable. And there's going to be some food in the kelp for the otters to find. So there might be little fish swimming in there, things like that. So we'll learn more about that in just a moment. Okay, let's get to our main facts here. This is our book called Sea Otters by Louise Spilberry. And I am not going to read all the words in this book because it's a long book, but there are some good facts in here. So here is a picture of a little sea otter. Isn't it so cute? It says here that sea otters are the smallest sea mammals in the world, and they weigh between 35 and 90 pounds. So they're pretty good size if you think about it. 90 pounds. There's a lot of dogs that don't even get up to 90 pounds. So you can be pretty, it's a pretty long animal. And what are some other ocean mammals you can think of? Can you think of some? What about whales? That's one. And dolphins, that's another one. So a sea mammal is an animal that needs to the sea for food, and it spends most of its time in or around the sea. I can think of another one, seals and walruses also. They have fur. All right, let's go over here. Here is a picture of the otter's body when it's out of the water. You can see it's kind of long and bendable, probably because it needs to be very flexible when it's swimming. Here we have another great picture of an otter with some kelp. That's really common to see. And here are some sea otters that are living in Alaska. Okay, so if they're in Alaska, it's pretty cold up there. How do you think those otters keep warm? You might have noticed that they do have lots of fur. Now, these animals have the most dense fur of any mammal on Earth. 1 square inch has 1 million hairs. So I drew a little picture for you. There's 1 square inch. It's not very big. It's not even as long as my finger. In that space, there would be 1 million little hairs to keep that otter warm. So there's going to be air trapped in between the hairs, and that forms a little protective insulation for the otter. And they do like to hang out together sometimes. Sometimes they prefer to be by themselves. Now, what do otters eat? Well, one thing they eat is sea urchins, these little spiny creatures. Those are animals from the ocean. And look how it eats. It floats up to the top. This one's eating a crab. It lays on its back and it puts its food on its tummy and it hurries up and eats it fast so it doesn't fall off or scoot away. All right, now here is a baby otter with its mom. Look how it rests on her tummy. Isn't that sweet? Does your mom ever carry you someplace? Or maybe have you gone swimming with your mom and she held you up in the water so you wouldn't fall down to the bottom? That's pretty cool. Here is a big group of sea otters, and when you have a lot of sea otters together, it's called a raft of sea otters. That kind of makes sense because, otters float and the raft floats. So maybe you think of a bunch of little otters all together floating and bobbing on the waves. So that's a few cool otter facts. And if you need some more otter facts, we have lots of books here at the library to help you with that. Okay, I'm going to move this book out of my way. This is a book called One Nighttime Sea. It's a great little story, and we are going to see some beautiful cut paper illustrations of all kinds of different animals, including otters that live in the ocean. And I believe we're going to do some counting too. So let's do that. This book is by Deborah Lee Rose. What animal do we have here? Wow, it's a biggie. We have a whale and a baby whale. All night long, while you are asleep, millions of sea creatures move through the deep. One blue whale calf swims close to its mother. Let's count that little baby whale calf. One calf. Two humpback whales, fathers, sing with each other. Whales make interesting songs that kind of sound like I don't know what, kind of like little sirens or something, but maybe you and mom or you and grandma can go on the internet a little bit after this and see if you can look up a video about whale songs. Let's count. One, two, three white belugas come up for air. Let's count these. One, two, three. Do you know the baby beluga song? Baby beluga in the deep blue sea, swim so wild and swim so free. And I don't know all the rest of it right now. That's a good song. Four spider crabs pretend they are not there. They're trying to be camouflaged. Let's count them. One, two, three, four. Here's our otters, our animal for today. Five furry otters rock on the tide. Let's count them. One, two, three, four, five. And what's this green plant again? Do you remember? That is sea kelp. Yes. Wow, what are these interesting creatures? These are called sea dragons. Six leafy sea dragons go for a ride. Let's count these. One, two, three, four, five, six. And here we have lobsters. Seven reef lobsters stretch out their legs. Let's see. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. And eight coral polyps explode with new eggs. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Oh, what have we got here? These are stellar sea lions. Nine stellar sea lions jostle for turf. That means they're trying to figure out who gets to sit where. Let's count these guys. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. And here's number nine up here. Oh, we're going to have to turn the book. 10 turtle hatchlings plunge into the surf. Hi, Isella, I see your comment. All right, let's count our sea turtles. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. The turtle mom lays the eggs in the sand, and when the eggs hatch, they have to go out to the ocean. Now let's count backwards. Then 10 nimble basket stars spread out their arms. Wow, these are interesting. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. Nine silky nudibranchs show off their charms. Nudibranchs are really cool little fancy slugs that live in the ocean. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Eight parrotfish spin a gossamer sack. One, two, three. Oops, sorry, wait. Seven. Okay. These are the parrotfish, the dark ones. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. And then this says seven masked butterflies nibble a snack. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. What is this crazy creature? It's a squid. Six firefly squid do a shimmering dance. One, two, three, four, five, six. Do you know what that is? That's a hammerhead shark. Yeah. Five hungry hammerheads wait for their chance. One, two, three, four, five. Whoa! Four blinking dragonfish lure with their light. These are animals that live way down deep in the darkest part of the water. One, two, three, four. Three zebra moris return from the night. One, two, three. Wow, those are stripy, aren't they? Here we have porpoises. It says two speedy porpoises wake up to play. One, two. And one brand new seal pup discovers the day. There he is, one seal pup. Now, if you think about it, these are some of the creatures that share the ocean with otters. And so otters might see some of those things if they're swimming around. Now I have kind of just a fun little story. This is by Sam Garton, and it's called I Am Otter. This has been a popular series, so there are several books in the series. If you like the one we read today, you can come and check out some of the other ones that we have. So otter, this otter is a rescue otter and it's a pet. I don't know if I mentioned this, but there's sea otters and there's also river otters. So sea otters live in the ocean and river otters live in fresh water. I did see some river otters at the Kansas City Zoo, and they were so speedy and fast, and I really enjoyed watching those for a while. So this is an otter that's gone to live with a person. I am Otter. Hi, I am Otter. No one really knows where I came from. Otter Keeper, that's the person who takes care of Otter. Otter Keeper says that he found me in a box on his doorstep one day. He says back when I was very small, um, he says back then I was very small. I'm still quite small, so I must have been really tiny. I wish I had made the most of being that little. At first, I was a little bit scared of Otter Keeper, but luckily Teddy had just come to live with Otter Keeper too. So here is the person who takes care of Otter, and here's Otter hiding behind the chair, and the Otter Keeper is showing Otter a little teddy bear just to kind of make friends. Now, I love Otter Keeper and Teddy very much. We have so much fun together, you wouldn't believe it. What are they doing? Let's see. Otter's putting some glasses on. Here, Otter is taking Teddy for a ride in his scooter car. Do you have a car like that, or have you played with one? Here we have Otter coloring some pictures, and here is Otter using his karaoke machine, especially on the weekends. But then every Monday we get bad news. Otter Keeper will be going to work. Oh, I do all sorts of things to prevent Otter Keeper from leaving, like trying to stop Monday from happening altogether or hiding his lunch where he'll never find it while he's hiding in his tummy. But my plans never work. Here he is hanging on to Otter Keeper's leg, saying, no, no, don't go to work. Stay home and play with me. Teddy and I think it's very unfair that we don't have jobs. So one day we decided to start our own business, a toast restaurant. Oh, look, they're going to get it all set up in the kitchen. After some basic training, we opened for business. Right away, though, we ran into some problems. First, Teddy had forgotten to take reservations. All the animals had lined up, all the toys had lined up for toast, and they didn't have room for everybody. Next, Teddy hadn't told anyone how much our toast would cost. As a result, no one brought any spending money, which led to some embarrassing situations. Toast 20 cents, cherry 30 cents. Finally, Teddy got several of the toast orders wrong. Oh dear. Some of the customers complained and had to be asked to leave our toast restaurant. That was the last straw. So Teddy was fired, and I gave his job to Giraffe. But even with a new chef, the restaurant still had big problems. Oh my goodness. Look at this mess. What is going on in that kitchen? There's food everywhere, dishes, toast, stuffed toys. There's a mess in the sink. Ugh. And here's Otter in the middle of all that mess. What do you think Otter Keeper is going to say when he comes home? The biggest problem of all was that Otter Keeper had just come home. Everyone had to hide. Luckily, otters are very good at hiding. Where did Otter hide? Looks like he was hiding in a boot. Unluckily, otter keepers are very good at finding otters. The toast restaurant was shut down. Things had to be cleaned up and everyone was sent home. I tried to explain to Otter Keeper that this had all been Teddy Bear's fault. But wait, where was Teddy? I'd been so mean to Teddy, he probably ran away to start a new toast restaurant with someone else. At bedtime, Teddy still hadn't turned up, and I couldn't sleep. This was an emergency. Luckily, in an emergency, you are allowed to wake up Otter Keeper. The search began. Have you ever lost your favorite toy and had to look all over before you could go to bed? After hunting almost all night, going around to the books and under the couch, in the cracker box, we were running out of places to look. Then all of a sudden, I had a clever thought. In the box, there was Teddy. Now everything is normal again, except everyone's very sleepy. Otter Keeper still goes to work. I don't think Otter Keeper is very awake in this picture. But I don't mind as much because I have my friend back. And now, when things go wrong, I understand they are not actually Teddy's fault at all. They are Giraffe's fault, not Otter's fault. No. You know, last week we came home from work, Mr. Beeman and I, and our dogs had found a package of powdered sugar. They dragged it into the living room and spread it everywhere. So I know how Otter Keeper feels. Okay. Well, that is our stories. Now it's time to get on to our craft. So let's do that. If you have your craft kit, you've got this little packet left. So we have on there a rubber band. We have some pictures of otters, and this one doesn't have a body. It's just the face and some paws, two front paws and two foot paws. And then we have a little baby otter like this. Now, if you don't have a craft kit, I'll just hold this up and you can check it out. You can try to sketch something just like that. The next thing we are going to do is Our next item is our paper bag, lunch bag. I have a little bit of newspaper, and then we have some worksheets for you to do, coloring page, um, dot to dot. And if you want to, this is a little writing practice, and I think there is some instructions for your grown-up to help you with that. Okay, so let's put that down. So the first thing we're going to need to do is color. Now our sample otter, we have colored all the pieces of the mother otter brown. We left the baby otter white. You don't have to color it brown. If you really need to make a pink otter or an orange one, you go right ahead. And I'm not going to take the time to do all that coloring. And you may need some help cutting out your otter pieces. So I'm going to do that, but I'm not going to take the time to color. So let me cut these out. So we have the mother otter. So she's the big, she's got the biggest pieces. And if you need some help cutting out that, get some help. But if you can't cut it out just perfectly neatly, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Practicing your scissor skills is part of developing your motor skills. Those are your fine motor skills. So it's perfectly okay if it's not perfect. I think you would probably find it's easier to color first and cut afterwards. But even if you decide to cut first, that's okay too. So we've got a couple more paws to cut out here. I'm doing kind of a fast job on here because I don't want to make you sit here and watch me cut things out. Okay, there's another paw. Now I'm going to do the 2-foot paws. The littler ones are the otter's back legs, and then the bigger ones are its front legs, front feet. Okay. And then also, I don't know if you got in your packet stuff to make the kelp or not, but I'll show you how to do that. Okay, I got that all cut out. So the next thing to do is to open your bag like that. And the top of the bag is going to be the top of the otter. So we're going to get our spare newspaper. Um, this is an old one. So we're recycling a little bit. Put it right in your bag. Okay, I don't know if I need any more than that or not. I think that's probably a good amount. So now notice that at the bottom of your bag, there's a plate on this sample. I have used a rubber band. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to bring this together. You may need help with this part from your grown-up. And I'm just twisting this rubber band. This will keep the bag closed. And it's also going to help us make the little feet. Okay, so we have this. Now I'm going to cut this little part here in half. So that's going to be like the top part of the feet, so like this. Okay. Now pretend I've colored this. I'm going to use my pieces to create this little otter. So we're going to put the head maybe right about there. Okay. We don't want to cover up the whole bag with the head because that's part of the body. Okay, so I put that on there. Okay, like that. And we'll put the arms on. So we'll use some glue stick, or if you have liquid glue, that's okay too, whatever you have. I'm going to put that kind of pointing in like this. I'll try to tuck it under the chin a little bit. Okay, I'm kind of squeezing it a little bit so it will stay. Now we're going to do the other side. Notice the arms kind of curve inward. That might help you with knowing which one goes where. And I'm just putting a little glue at the top here. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to put the feet on. So the feet, I got some glue on there. They're going to just go on this little flap. Okay. And put one on one side and one on the other side over here. Okay. A little more glue. Okay, so we've got 2 feet. Then we've got to get our baby. So let's cut the baby out, and you again color whatever you want. I think a colorful otter might be fun. Maybe you could have a purple mom otter and a yellow baby otter. Whatever you think would look the best. But of course, you know from looking at our photos that um, the adult otters are brown. Okay, so now when you glue your baby on, you just want to figure out where you want it to have the mom otter holding on to it, taking good care of it. Or you could even leave the baby otter loose so you could play with it if you want to do that. Now, on my sample table here, I do not have my kelp, but I think you got kelp supplies in your bag. So what you do is you just twist a piece of tissue paper like gift tissue, just twist it around and then you can add some leaf shapes to that. I have 3 little kelp strands here, and that will give your otter a place to rest and play if you would like. So you can just, whoops, oh no, baby, you fell down. Okay, so there we have our otter and kelp, and here's the one that is colored. So this is a nicer one with colors. So I hope you have fun making that little craft today. And again, please make sure that you um, stop by when you have a chance and pick up your craft bags for next week. And I see a comment from Azalea that she likes this otter story that we read, and they had a copy at their house too. So I'm glad that you're reading at home. And remember, we do have some more books in that otter series. If you enjoyed that, you can come and check out the other ones too. So I'll say goodbye for now, and we'll be having Mother Goose Time Thursday at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then there'll be lunchtime trivia tomorrow at 12:30 with our helper, Miss Candle. So we'll see you later and have a great day. Bye-bye.